From CBS News, it's The Early Show.
In this morning's Health Watch, expiration dates. It's a question millions of us try to answer every day. How long is food safe to eat before its sell-by date has passed? And here with some advice for this dietary dilemma is dietitian Tanya Zuckerbrot. She's author of The F Factor Diet. Great to have you with us, Tanya.
Thank you.
This becomes the age-old question. What are all these dates? What do they mean?
Yeah, well, there are three different kind of dates for consumers to look for. First one is called a sell-by date. Then there's a use-by date, and then there's an expiration date. Now, the sell-by date is the date that's recommended for the stores to keep an item on the shelf where they could be selling it. The use-by date is for the actual consumer, and that has to do with freshness, flavor, and texture. Not a safety issue as much as a quality issue. And then the expiration date means just what it means. If you haven't eaten it by the expiration date, toss it.
Throw it away. Okay, Dad, because my dad used to make me eat yogurt after the expiration date. Anyway, this is your milk, your dairy products. Yeah. What are the important things to know about dairy products and their expiration
dates? Dairy products have a sell-by date, so it's the recommended date that should be sold. But once you get past that date, it's still safe to eat. For milk, you can drink milk 5 to 7 days after its sell-by date. Interestingly enough, skim milk has a longer shelf life than whole milk because the fats in the whole milk tend to go rancid sooner. But to get the most out of your milk, out of the shelf life, you want to keep it in the back of the refrigerator. And for all dairy, you want to make sure your refrigerator is at least 40 degrees Fahrenheit or less. For eggs, after the sell-by date, 3 to 5 weeks, it's still safe to eat.
Okay, so keep it in the back of the refrigerator where it's cold and look at those sell-by dates as well as the expiration dates. When it comes to meat, and by the way, I'd like to say my dad's off the hook from what you just told me. When it comes to meat, what do you need to know about meat?
So when it comes to meat, there's also a sell-by date. And for chicken and poultry, 1 to 2 days after the sell-by date, you can keep it refrigerated and still safe to eat. After that, put in the freezer. For meat, it's 3 to 5 days in the refrigerator. Haven't eaten it yet, put it in the freezer. Once it's in the freezer, it's safe to eat for 7 to 9 months. Be sure to wrap it properly in saran wrap so it doesn't get freezer burn. Once again, freezer burn is not a health concern, that's a quality and taste concern.
Good to know. So when you get home, if you don't think you're going to eat it, put it in the freezer. You got 7 to 9 months to keep it. How about baked goods?
Okay, so baked goods and snack goods. Now, when it comes to bread, if a bread is a fresh bread, freshly baked bread straight from the grocery, it's actually going to have a shorter shelf life than these processed breads, and that's because they have preservatives. To get the most out of your breads, you want to keep them in a bag so that moisture can't get in. And bread lasts around 5 to 7 days, but you can double the shelf life if you keep it in the refrigerator. I always wondered why some people put their bread in the refrigerator. Right. They knew what they were doing. It lasts twice as long. When it comes to snack goods, pretzels last around 2 months, but popcorn has a longer shelf life, 1 to 2 years.
1 to 2 years for that popcorn. Who thought? All right, here's the canned good dilemma. Okay. What about these?
Now, the canned goods, out of all the groups, are the only ones with the actual expiration date. So far, we've dealt with sell-by dates and use-by dates. These actually have an expiration date. People think if it's a can, you can keep it for like 20 years.
Right.
That's incorrect. Low-acid canned goods, such as peas and carrots, those have a longer shelf life, probably 2 to 3 years. And higher acid foods like tomato sauce, it's typically 1 to 2 years. But if you see a can is dented or bulging, dump it even if it's before the expiration date because it can contain a foodborne illness. So dump those dented, bulging cans, even if it still says it's okay to eat.
Good to know. Once you open the can and you put it in the refrigerator outside of a can, how long does it last for?
1 to 2 weeks.
1 to 2 weeks. Good to know. I always wonder that. With tomato sauce, liquids.
Okay. So liquids have different expiration or use-by dates. But once again, this is not a health concern as much as a quality concern. Water can last up to 2 years.
2 years.
2 years. There's no nutrients in water, so foodborne illnesses can contaminate it. Soda, once not a health issue, but a quality issue where the color or the taste can lessen. So for soda, it is considered 6 to 9 months, and beer, shorter shelf life, 4 months.
Shorter. Okay, good to know. Tanya, as always, we love having you with us. Thank you. Some good information. And for more to make sure how your food is safe to eat, go to our partner in health, webmd.com, and search food expiration. And later from